Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel where we focus on healing, humor, and hot mother freaking topics. If you are here in this segment of my channel, then you are tuned into the healing segment where I read my Dear DJ letters and I give some folks some feedback from what they wrote in. If you are new to my channel, hey, new subscribers, and if you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, and then drop your comments in the comment section about what you want to share about this Dear Deidre letter. Let's get it started. Dear Deidre, I need your help. So my friend and I had a falling out. A couple of years back, she mysteriously popped up pregnant. She never talked about going on any dates, having sex, liking anybody. Hell, I've never even seen the girl sexting. So when she said she was pregnant, I was baffled. She didn't want to keep the baby and wanted nothing to do with the father. By the time we scheduled an appointment for her to terminate the pregnancy, it was already too late because she was already too far along. She was heartbroken. Eventually, she ended up giving birth. I tried persuading her to give the baby up for adoption since she was so unhappy about having him. She refused. And from the day he was born, she treated him as though he was the curse God placed in her life. Oh. To a point we got into it bad because I was tired of her mistreating that baby. When we fell out, we also stopped speaking. And during that time, I called ACS on her. Turns out that was the best decision I could have made. Recently, we got back in good graces and we discussed her ACS situation. She explained that the threat of having her baby taken away from her made her reevaluate some things, and from what I can see, she is a better parent than before. I'm wondering, since my actions were actually beneficial to my friend and her baby, if it would be a good idea for me to share that I was the one who called ACS on her. We've always been good friends, and I don't want to keep this from her since we're rekindling our friendship. Do you think this is a good idea? Let me know. Signed, I think it's best I involved ACS. I mean, let me just say this. I'm very happy to hear that your friend was able to get in a better space regarding parenting. That's a beautiful thing. I'm happy for her. May God bless her, right? I'm also happy that you're a caring friend, and during the time when she was going through her rough spot, you were trying to offer her options and support for her to make a choice that could benefit her and the baby. Right? Shout out to you. Shout out to that. What I will say is this, my dear. Let's run it from the top. If you are in an Operation Heal 100 Heart session, I would be asking you, right? What happened? What happened with the breakdown in communication that you guys fell out? What happened with the young person? And what was the final straw for you to make that decision? Right? Because I know that sometimes we can feel we know what's best for other people, but sometimes we could be right and sometimes we can be wrong. In this situation, I get what you were saying, that it sounds like by what she's sharing with you that you may have done something right in her eyes and in your eyes, right? But she may also feel that way not knowing you're the person who did that. Because my wonder is, let's just say she found out it was another person, her neighbor, right? I want you let me know if she said to you how wonderful ACS are, you guys were getting involved, how wonderful of a thing it was for ACS to be getting involved, and so on and so forth, right? When it was anonymous. And then she found out, oh, you know who actually called them on me? My neighbor. Do you foresee her saying, well, I have to thank her because that's the best thing she ever did? Or will she be upset about what took place, even though, according to her and you, it was to her benefit? because that's a tad bit much. That's a tad bit much. And am I saying that you did it with ill intention? I mean, I don't think you were doing it with ill intention. I think that you didn't factor in your friend's feelings regarding the situation, and it ended up being a good thing. You don't know if throughout the process it was a good thing. Alrighty? So I do understand that, listen, this is what you had to do, but let me hear what led up to you doing this. Right? That's number one. Number two, my next line of questioning would be, how close are you guys now since the fallout? And how well do you know this friend? Because you said that in your letter she was mistreating the child so bad that you and her fell out. So I don't think that it would be like, well, I don't think the mindset would be, because I was mistreating my child, I needed my friend to call ACS for me to get me in line. It sounded like she didn't want you to get her in anything, because when you addressed her just on your own about her mistreating the child, y'all stopped speaking. So I don't know if, once again, she would be receptive to knowing that you were the person, just off of some of the things you shared in the video. She didn't want you to say anything to her about even chastising the kid on your own. So now you think she wants you to go and involve other people in that process? You think she would be okay with hearing that? I don't know, baby. I don't know. And I'm going to keep saying I don't know because I don't know your friend. I'm only hearing from the little bit that you're sharing with me. And it sounds like, again, I think you're looking at the bigger picture overall. Overall, yes, it was very beneficial to her. Yes, it was very beneficial to her, because now look at her. She's a totally changed person. And I love that for her, and I love that for the baby. And I love the fact that you guys are able to rekindle your friendship. All beautiful things. But what you don't understand is sometimes folks focus on the journey and not the destination. And her having her child threatened to be taken away, and the process that it went through to actually not have the kid taken away from her, was probably very hard for her, very stressful, very disheartening. And you weren't aware of that because you guys weren't hanging out at the time. So even though she reached the destination, she may have some ill feelings towards the journey. And she may view it from that standpoint, as opposed to, okay, but just look what happened in the end. No, but do you know what I had to go through to get there? And all of this was because of you, and you're supposed to be my friend. These are the feelings that may come up for her, because it is a slippery slope. You ever heard somebody say, well, oh my God, I finally graduated from college, right? And they like, I had this one teacher and he always gave me a hard time and so on and so forth. And the teacher is like, no, I did actually make it way harder for you because I knew you had the potential to be great. And the person is looking like, yeah, I did end up graduating and all of that, but do you know how that should stress me out, what you put me through? You understand what I'm saying? So she may not view it as the destination after you share with her that you're the reason for the journey, because she may not be fond of the journey. It may be it's a beautiful thing what the outcome was, but the process could have been very grueling getting there. And to know that a person who claims that they love you and care about you and they're a friend to you will want to put you through such a grueling process, it can really fuck with you to hear that, to know that. You understand what I'm saying? So to say that it would be a good idea for you to share with her that it was you, I think you would have to wait a little longer if that's what you're adamant and dead set on doing. That would be my suggestion. My suggestion would be, you guys just got back cool. You're just now, from what you explained, seeing her new parenting style and so on and so forth. Maybe you want to take some time out to remain quiet about the journey and just let her enjoy the destination and see how she embarks on the new journey from where she is. right? Because right now she's in a great place with the kid, but the kid could be very small. She could have just been nervous about them being taken away in that moment. A year from now, what if she reverts back to the same behaviors with the kid and treating the kid the same way? Are you going to call ACS again? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would suggest you share so early on if you're dead set and adamant about sharing. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if it's a good idea at all, but I'll take it a step further. I don't think it was a good idea to call in the first place. I don't know if maybe an intervention with other family members. I don't know if trying to reach out to the dad. I think there was many other steps you could have taken before that one. But again, I was not there. I do not know. Right? So I don't know what you were witnessing with this young person and her to make you feel like you had to go to that extreme. But I couldn't imagine that if it was something extreme that you were witnessing, that it doesn't have to necessarily always be over. It could be for the time being. This is how she's dealing with the situation. Either way, I think if you're saying, I don't care what nobody say, I'm going to tell my friend, then I'll give you this. You need to give it time. You need to give it time. You need to give it time. Because also it sounds like you're going to be approaching this from a standpoint of, oh, I did what was best for you. You needed that. Who the fuck? That could upset a person when you hear telling me you know what's best for me. Who the fuck said I needed that? Just because you thought that's what I needed? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, give it more time and do some more exploring before you automatically just blurt that out. You may want to maybe kind of be a little bit more observant of her and her new parenting style. Because you never know what could take place in the future, and you may be being blamed for everything at this point because of this one thing that you did. Right? Let me also ask this, and again, this is some of the questions that I will be asking in the process of the Healing Heart session. What was going on? Because if it was that extreme for you to feel like you had to call ACS, but then ACS still allowed her to keep her baby, what is the disconnect? What is taking place that either you're not sharing or you just don't know, or what's happening? Because if you felt that it was that extreme that you should get them involved, they didn't feel it was that extreme enough to take the baby away? Or was it your ego and your way of thinking that made you feel like you don't like the mistreatment of the baby? Not necessarily that she was mistreating the baby, but she wasn't doing something the way you liked it or you would do it. So you deemed it as mistreatment. Is it that? Because if ACS did not take the baby, and again, if you worked for ACS, drop down in the comment section and, let me know if I'm getting this wrong. Do children get automatically removed from the home? Do you need some more proof to remove them? Me personally, I did go through the ACS process when I was younger, and we were removed from my mom's home to my grandmother's house, to the next of kin relative. Alrighty, but if they did not take her children and her child, she was still able to keep the baby and make this transformation. Was it that the mistreatment was really that bad, or was she doing something that you didn't feel she should or shouldn't do, which is why you took it to that extreme? And if that's the case, is that fair? Is that fair? Everybody's parenting style is different. So unless you're going to tell me she was beating a 2-year-old with extension cords or something of that nature, then I would need to know what deemed it enough for you to call, but not enough for ACS to want to take away. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I definitely would like to have that conversation about. And also having conversation about boundaries, and how to maintain them. And also honesty. Honesty, because I think you could have had the dialogue of, I can't sit here and watch this. I can't be a part of this. If it continues, this is what I'm going to have to do. I hope that you didn't get vindictive when because you guys weren't speaking and decided now this is the time. And like I said, I'm not accusing you of these things. I'm just asking questions. And I want you to take into consideration some of your thought process when you were doing some of these things. Because while it might have been the best decision for you and to you and it sat right with you, remember this decision affected other people and it was about somebody else. So you're not at the core and the center of it. Somebody else is. So you have to make sure you are factoring those two other people in what you thought was best, since this isn't even about you. And in all fairness, if it was coming from a sincere place and you just wanted to help, my next line of questioning would be, why not have an intervention and reach out to family members? Is there no family? There's not somebody you could have came and said, listen, I think we need to come together because I know you her favorite cousin or you her big sister or you a daddy or whoever you are, and maybe you guys aren't privy to this and you're not aware of this, but if you're not, let me let you know what's going on and let me let you know I need your help and your support. Was there not anybody there present that you could have done that with? Okay. Okay, because I just want to make sure that if you decide to share this information, you're not met with a lot of backlash about this being about you. And now you're stuck because you're trying to make the other person believe that, no, I just want to help you guys. How did you think getting my kid almost taken away from me is helping me? It's helping him. It's helping us. And again, she may come back and say, no, it was helping feed your ego because you didn't agree with, so you thought you were doing something that was going to fix a situation that is not even yours. But I get where you're coming from. It wasn't any ill intention. I just didn't want to see the baby mistreated, so I felt this is the only way I could step in. But my question would be, is it? Is it the only way? What else could you have done? I've been guilty of this. I've been guilty of this in the past, thinking I know what's best for other people. I'm a logical thinker and I've been taught to always, use my brain and, I think very, very quickly on my feet and, I can put things together, So for me, it was always, well, no. I think that this is what's going to work for you. Khadijah, how about you think about what's going to work best for you? Yeah, I've done that, but I also got to think, no, you don't. No, you don't. You have to allow folks to grow through their own process and let them find out on their own what's best for them. And if you're saying that the reason why you stepped in is because there was a baby involved, then I'm 100% with you there. I respect that. What I don't really think was the best idea was the approach, because I think that there was plenty other options that, and you let me know, you could have tried before involving ACS per se. Right? Like I said, it could have been a family intervention. You could have reached out to the baby father. But there was ways that you could have pretty much addressed this without putting your friend in such a harmful situation. Because the other part about that is, what if this didn't go well? What if this didn't go well and now you're dealing with a friend who's heartbroken because somebody anonymously called ACS on her and got her only child taken away from her? It's a tangly web we weave. Because then you would have been sitting with a grieving friend. And I think because your ego was allowing you to believe you made the best choice for her, because look, she even saying it, is now why you want to gloat in that and share with her. No. I think if it went well, you don't need any awards or accolades for it. You did it with the best intention. Stay quiet and leave it alone. But if you are dead set on telling this woman what you feel, and why you made the decision that you made, you must very well be prepared for what comes behind how that woman is going to feel and how she expresses that. Because you may become friends who are not speaking again. So, my dear, I'm praying. I'm praying for the help from the heavenly stars above that with your best intentions, that things could work out in the favor of you and your friend maintaining the friendship. I just think that if you want to share and you're dead set on sharing, you might want to wait a little while longer. A little while longer. Because once again, if God forbid she shifts back into her old habits and something else happens, you'll be the first one to blame because this is what you do. And I don't know a parent who thinks it's best for their child to be separated from them. Granted, I don't think it's best for parents who mistreat children. But I don't know one parent who thinks it's best for their child to be taken away from them. Now, granted, if you want to voluntarily give up your child, which you asked her if she wanted to do, and she said no. So now you're going to tell me with a straight face you think it would be a good idea to tell her that you got her child involuntarily taken away from her? Something in the milk ain't clean, baby. Something in the milk is not clean. And you've already done what you needed to do, and thankfully, it seems as though it's working. Do you want to cause further damage by now putting it out there that, you know what I'm saying? We don't all know what is best for everybody else. Sometimes you have to sit back, most times, oftentimes, you have to sit back, if not all the time, and allow God to handle it. So, I don't know. I don't know, sweetie. Like I said, I'll tell you what I said before. I don't think you should tell her immediately if you're dead set on telling her. I think you need to wait. I think you need to be prepared for whatever feelings come with what you share with her. And I think you need to be mindful in the future about knowing what's best for other people. But I could honestly see that, once again, that may be an issue for you because you may lack boundaries. I know the feeling. So that means you will be coming in for your Operation Heal 100 Heart session so we can work on that. So in the future, when you make decisions for other people, you can refrain from putting any action to them because you will remember that that's not your job. That's God's. Okay? And you are not the Grand Wizard and you are not Oz. Alrighty, so come on down and see me. Let's get your Healing Heart session going. Let's discuss why you overstepped in the biggest way humanly possible, and what we can do to prevent you from moving forward so quickly and hastily about decisions that affect other people's lives. Alrighty, my dear. So hopefully I'll see you soon because this is a discussion that we need to have in length and in person. Okay? And you may want to hold off from sharing with your friend. Alrighty? Let's just give it some time. Allow her to do what she needs to do and let her do that with her baby, and God. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Remember what I told you guys. I do not debate. I do not delete. Everything is up for discussion as long as it's not disrespectful. In any event, thank you for tuning in and enjoy your day. Mwah.